What's going on, you guys? Are you turned? Because I am, and today I'm bringing you my NWPL draft analysis. And before we get the video started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, share with a friend, as it is greatly appreciated. And yeah, so we've joined a league recently. I was gonna say another league, but we've been in this league for a good week now, maybe. But yeah, we've joined a league called the NWPL, run by my great pal. I can't put any more emphasis on that word, great. He's an amazing person. My boy Owen, Obel29. You guys can check out his channel, as well as any of the other coaches who are recording this league, and the description below as well. But yeah, great pal, one of my really good friends on in this community. My boy Owen, he hit me up and said, do you want a recording opportunity? This is when I tweeted out. You could follow my Twitter, be down in the description below as well. But shameless plug. But yeah, my boy Owen, he was like, you want a recording opportunity? And I said sure. He invited me to NWPL, and yeah, so this is gonna be one of many leagues, or probably the only league as of right now that I'll be recording and putting on the channel for you guys. But yeah, I've been in NWPL the second season. It was actually run I'm not completely sure how I did in it. It's been a couple of months now, but yeah, my boy Owen said he's gonna revamp the league, so I'm helping him out as much as I possibly can, make it the best league ever, as well as becoming or participating as a coach. So we're almost finished with the draft as we speak. I at least am finished with my pick, so I just thought, why not go over my draft here with you guys. But here we drafted 11 mons, basic GBA format: 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, 2 tier 3s, tier 4, tier 5, a mega, and a mega, and for free. I should actually no, I'm gonna put it in the way I drafted them. I'm just gonna put them in order of the tiers and whatever, but I'm gonna put it in which I drafted. So yeah, without any further ado, let me go off my draft. So with this draft, I was fortunate enough to have the #1 overall pick, and this pick kinda was decided by a wheel, so to say, because I wasn't too sure what I wanted to draft. I hit Owen up and said, I'm either going to pick Tornadus or I'm going to pick Tapu Koko, and Tapu Koko being one of the best mons to draft format, if not the best. I could have gone either way. Tapu Koko is a mon that's so versatile in the sense that it gets so many moves, that in the speed tier in electric terrain helps it so much, so you really can't go wrong with picking it. In fact, my boy Owen did get Tapu Koko, so there's that. But here I basically put number of mons on the list, mons including Mew, Kyurem Black, Landorus T, Tornadus, Koko. I believe I had Celestial on there, and I had a Ditto just for giggles. But yeah, I let the wheel decide, and in fact, I got one of the mons, the original 2 mons that I did tell my boy Owen, and that is Tornadus T. Now, Tornadus T is probably one of the most, probably one of those mons that I'm most familiar with in draft league format and competitive play in general, as I've used it in number of leagues, excuse me, and I'm familiar with how it's used in terms of moves, how it can be used in terms of a team, and how great it is as a starting mon to build a team around, or a roster around, I should say. But yeah, Tornadus T was my first overall pick, and I love Tornadus. Wow, Tornadus with a passion. I love using it. It has a wide item pool. Why am I disconnected? Okay, I'm just gonna work online. We're not doing anything online, so that's fine. Maybe it's my internet or whatever, but yeah, Tornadus could be ran in a number of ways. It could be ran defensive with a Rocky Helmet, which is really nice, a Life Orb, which is really nice. I'm not sure what the Z move options are, and if we have to use Z crystals, 1 Z crystal, if we have a number of Z mons, or if we have to put points towards a Z crystal. I'm not completely sure yet, but 1000% of the time this thing will be one of my Z users, if not the only one. So Tornadus will be heavily impacted by that. But Z options, Rocky Helmet, like I said, defensive, Life Orb, Choice Scarf if I need to outspeed things that are trying to outspeed me. We have Bandit options, we have a Specs option. So this thing's just very versatile in the sense that I can run a number of things. It can have so many roles on a team and do that role really nicely. So Tornadus, really nice stats as well, really nice stats and nothing you could really complain about. Really nice speed tier of 121, 110 at special attack, which is really nice, 100 in attack. So if I want to run a physical Tornadus, if it feels right that week, I can run a physical, but the bulk is there too. I can run an assault vest and have that special defense bulk as well. So this thing's really nice, gives me a really nice speed tier, and like I mentioned, it's a really nice mod to build around in terms of building a roster around it. So having Tornadus is really nice, probably the best case scenario in terms of that wheel. Sorry for the 14 Doctor, I did snipe him for this pick as well. So the wheel spoke, and I got Tornadus in, so I'm really happy with this pick. Moving forward, we have my favorite draft mon of all time, no doubt about it, Reuniclus. Now Reuniclus is a pure psychic type, which is really nice. I love bulky psychic type. I feel like a bulky psychic is one of the more important types to have on a team, unless you have a Mega Alakazam or a Lottie. Mega or non. Mega Latios is pretty bulky though, so I'm not going to completely say that. But yeah, Reuniclus really nice. In terms of the overall bulk it has, the options that it has, and the abilities. So the abilities include Regenerator, Overcoat, and Magic Guard. Magic Guard and Regenerator are probably the only two abilities I'll be running unless I'm facing a sand team in which I need to run Overcoat, but I probably still run Magic Guard or Magic Guard over that, because Magic Guard negates any non-physical or non-special moves damage, so that's fine. But like I mentioned, the overall bulk of Reuniclus makes it really nice, 110 in HP and that really high special attack set, 125. And what makes Reuniclus so special is the options that it brings. You can run a Trick Room Life Orb set with Magic Guard. You won't take that Life Orb damage, and you'll still be taking that you'll be still hitting as hard. You have Trick Room, Calm Mind, nice wave recovery and recover. But if I feel the need that recover isn't needed that week, I could run Regenerator as my ability. Regenerator is it's probably my favorite ability, and it makes a nice little core between Tornadus and Reuniclus in the sense that I do get a Regenerator core going there. But like I mentioned, Reuniclus's overall bulk is part of the reason why I love it so much, and the fact that it has so many options for being such a bulky bond makes it really nice. But yeah, why not have one of my favorite mons on the roster? I couldn't pass up on it, and paired with Tornadus, I really like that duo a lot. I've actually had it in a number of leagues before, and I've had pretty good success with it, so hopefully it continues here. Moving forward, for my third round pick, I went with Mega Kangaskhan. Now, Mega Kangaskhan is allowed in this league without the Seismitoss, and rightfully so. Seismitoss Kangaskhan is a bit of it's a bit troubling to deal with. It's really some would say broken in a sense, but I'm fine with that. I probably won't be running Seismitoss. Oh, I can't run Seismitoss, so I probably wouldn't be running Seismitoss as much, even if it was allowed. But yeah, this is my first time using Mega Kang. In general, I've never used it in Ubers. I've never used it in Draft League, so it's gonna be a really cool experience to have this mon and use it. But yeah, Mega Kangaskhan was my third overall pick, and it is a tier 1 Mega, so I don't get any points back, which is fine by me. But Mega Kangaskhan, from what I've seen, the ability that it has Parental Bond, you get a hit and a second hit. After that, I think the second hit it does half. Yeah, the second hit is half damage. So let's say if I run return and I do a clean 50, I think it'll do 25 or something like that. I'm not completely sure. But yeah, we have Mega Kangaskhan. We don't have the Mega First Turn either, which is really nice because I could easily run Scrappy to have a fake out on a Ghost type or hit a Ghost type if I need to prior to Mega Evolving. So that's really nice. But looking at the move pool before actually drafting it, Mega Kangaskhan has a wide move pool: Drain Punch, Earthquake, Fake Out, Return. Like I mentioned, Ice Punch. Does it get all the elemental punches? Yes, it does, which is really nice. A Low Kick, Power Up Punch, Wish. It even gets Wish, which is really, excuse me, which is really nice. If I do feel like I need to run a Wish bulky Kangaskhan 1 week, I can run that. But yeah, Kangaskhan, while I was looking at what Mega I should go with, I was looking at Megas such as Mega Gardevoir. I'm not sure if it was taking at the time, but I'm seeing Mega Kangaskhan there, and the overall versatility that it brings to my team is really nice. And pairing it with mons such as Tornadus and Rheonaclys, who are mons that deal with the one thing that threatens Sting the most, fighting types, is really nice because I could have that as a leeway or as a fallback, as having Kangaskhan being weak to fighting isn't much of a problem because I could easily go into my Rheonaclys, which can take a fighting hit, or I could go into my Tornadus to take a fighting hit. So I think that dynamic is really nice. But overall, 125 in attack, 105 in HP makes it a really bulky mon, 100 in defenses, and then 100 in speed, which gives a solid T tier for the, as my last pick was a base 30. So a really nice pick. I like this pick a lot in the terms of dynamic for my team, and I can't wait to use it, see what I can do with it. But yeah, moving forward, my fourth overall pick is Nidoqueen. So Nidoqueen would be my second tier 2. It will be a free mon as well. So that's traps 120 from my team, which leaves me with 220 for 3 other slots. You'll see what I do with those slots moving forward. But yeah, we have Nidoqueen here. Nidoqueen is a mon that I spoke to Star and Owen about as adding to my team because I felt that it paired really well with Tornadus. Not in the sense that it adds another ice weakness, but it covers the weakness of electric for Tornadus, and it also provides another leeway for fighting types, helps with the steel types, rock types that Tornadus could have trouble with sometimes, and also helps with overall bulk for my team. I don't have any stealth rockers, and Nidoqueen does present that for my team. I do believe it gets toxic spikes as well, if I'm not mistaken. Does it get toxic? Yes, it does. So she does get toxic spikes, and she does get stealth rocks, so that brings some type of hazard control for my team, or some type of hazards for my team. I could say hazard control. We do have defog in Tornadus, which is nice. But yeah, we have Nidoqueen, which is pretty bulky overall. Really nice ability in sheer force. You get the overall bulk 87 in defense, 85 in special defense, 90 HP. It is better in physical attack, but most of the time you see people run special attacking with maybe life orb because we do have that shield force. But I don't have to necessarily run a life orb each and every time. I can run a black sledge, leftovers, Yachi berry if I need to live an ice attack, sugar berry if I need to live a ground attack. But I do have things such as Tornadus to help with that ground weakness, so that's fine. But yeah, like I mentioned, gives us some form of hazard. This thing does hit hard in its own right. So Nidoqueen's not one to be messed with. I like Nidoqueen. I've used it only once, so having another chance at, and the first time I didn't really use it that well. So maybe having another crack at it will help me get more familiar with it, I should say. But Nidoqueen's really cool. It adds really nice dynamic for the rest of my team. How many times am I going to say my dynamic? But yeah, moving forward, we have our first tier 3 mon, Alomomola. Alomomola, the bulky fish itself. Pure water type. I feel like having a bulky water is another necessity for any team. In certain cases, you could make a case for stuff like Greninja, which is not as bulky or not as nearly as bulky as Alomomola, but I feel like for me, having a bulky water is a necessity. I've only drafted maybe Greninja as another water type Other than that, I usually go for bulkier water types, and this speaks volumes right here, where we have Alomomola. Just look at the HP stat, 165. It's not going to be physical. It's not going to be a threat in the offensive side, but it will be able to take hits. It is weak to electric, but we do have that Nidoqueen, and then we have the grass weakness, which is covered by Torn and can be covered by Nidoqueen. So that's really nice. Kangaskhan being weak to fighting types, who could easily slap a Rocky Helmet on this thing and deal with fighting types from there. It gives us another Wisher, so a Wish Passer, a Cleric, you could call it. It doesn't get Heal Bell, which is unfortunate, but we do get Wish, which is really nice. Scald. But yeah, this thing also gets regenerators, so kind of builds a regenerated core between Torn, Alomomola, and Reuniclus, which is really nice in my opinion. But yeah, nothing much else to say about this thing. It's just gonna do its job, be the bulky monster that it is. I've used this thing plenty of times, and I love how bulky this mon is. But yeah, like I mentioned, it's not gonna be there for any offensive presence. She's going to be there for strictly defense, or to be able to take hits, wish into mons that need to be wished into, and then it's just going to go from there. It's going to do its job, and it's going to do its job well. Excuse me. So moving forward, we have our second tier 3 in Registeel. Now, with my team prior to Nidoqueen, I'm lacking a bit of rocks, so I feel like Registeel would be another mod that could help that out, and it also helps in overall bulk. It's weak to ground, fire, fighting, but we do have things to cover that on our team, so I feel like Registeel is just a great complement for the rest of this team. Having the ability to stealth rock up, like I mentioned, being able to be an overall tank, whether it be especially or physically, it could be able to tank those hits, and this thing could have some type of presence on the offensive side because with the options of curse. Other than that, like I mentioned with Alomomola, there's not much I can say about this thing, except for it's going to do its job really well. It's going to be able to take hits and get at rocks if it needs to. If it needs to curse up, it can curse up. If it needs to thunder wave things, if it needs to toxic things, it's going to do its job, and it's going to do its job well. I'm slipping on my words, but yeah, not much else to say about this thing. It's going to do its job, like I mentioned, and it's going to do it well. So moving forward, we have our fairy type, and Registeel and Comfey were a wheel pick duo that I had. I kind of wanted to have a Fairy Dragon Steel Core, not knowing what dragon I was going to go with yet, because there are still quite a few dragons left on the board when I picked Comfey, so I wasn't completely sure what to do with this pick. Or what to do with the dragon pick, but I did know I wanted to take a fairy and a steel type with a duo with one of my wheel picks. So we have Comfey here. Comfey I've used a couple of times, pretty cool mon. There's plenty of options there, but I'm most likely going to be running Triage. If I do need Natural Cure, I could run that, but Triage gives me priority, which is really nice. It gives a number of options. I could run a Choice Scarf set if I need to. I could run a Life Orb set. Life Orb is pretty prominent now. I've been seeing it a lot in use, so there's that. But this thing gets a lot of options. Draining Kiss, one of the most I could see myself using. Aromatherapy, excuse me. This thing could be sort of a cleric. If only you got Wish, it would be a perfect fairy cleric. But it gets Defog, which is nice for my team. Calm Mind option is there. Heal Bell, so it does the same thing as Aromatherapy, but we have screens options, or we have a light screen. We have Leaf Seed, which is also really nice. If I need to have a pivot mon, I can use uTurnt. It has Trick Room options as well. Trick 2, Taunt, and Tailwind. So this thing is relatively fast. It has the same speed tier as Kangaskhan. So it's not as bulky in the HP stat, but it is bulky in terms of the defenses. 90 in defense, 110 in special defense, and like I mentioned, the 110 in speed. I slap a Life Orb on it, and it's going to hit pretty hard, especially after Calm Mind or 2. So this thing prevents another defogger from my team, which is really nice. And this is part of the reason why I did take it. Florges was off the board, way off the board, Sylveon as well. And I felt like this was their best fairy option, at least for my team. So yeah, yeah, really nice. I like this thing. I've used it a couple of times, like I mentioned, and hopefully I can continue to at least it could provide what it needs to for the team. It also helps in terms of Kangaskhan and Registeel, clearing up that fighting weakness, which is something I kept in mind throughout the whole draft. I wanted to make sure that Mega Kangaskhan was covered, and this just helps in that case. So moving forward, we have 4 mons left. We have Darmanitan here. Hoenn actually sniped the original mon I wanted. We actually talked back and forth. I'm not really mad about the snipe. I'm pretty happy with this thing as well. But here we have Darmanitan. This was another wheel pick duo. This mon and the next mon, but I'll kind of explain that. Darmanitan here. I wanted Rotom Heat. Excuse me. I just drew a blank there. I wanted Rotom Heat originally. Rotom Heat would have provided a Volt Switch for the team, but that's fine, completely fine. We have Darmanitan here, and as you can see, Darmanitan is a big boy and is not one to be played with, especially in terms of hitting really hard. Darmanitan is one of those mons that if you have a choice ban, there's very few mons that could come in on the choice ban Flare Blitz or a choice ban attack from this mon. Sheer Force plus a choice ban or Sheer Force plus a life form is going to be pretty scary for opposing teams, especially if you don't have anything to cover this thing. But 95 in speed is a pretty decent speed tier. I can slap a scarf on it to outspeed a couple of things, but outside of that, this thing is going to hit hard. It's going to be a hard hitting monster. Very few switch-ins, excuse me, unless you're like a pure rock, but even then we have superpower. We do have Earthquake for that, so really nice. Darmanitan, it's gonna hit really hard. And with the wheel pick, I did get Rotom. I did end up getting my Volt Switcher. I was lacking a grass type as well, so getting Rotom to complete the water grass fire core I have between Alomomola, Rotom, and Darmanitan is really nice. We have Rotom being the Volt Switcher of the team, being able to Volt Switch, having Volt turn options with Darmanitan and or Tornadus is really nice. Adds another defogger for the team, which I like a lot as well. Really nice Folk overall in terms of the defenses. The HP is a little bit lackluster, but we have a decent speed tier. And being a grass type, we will be able to, and having Levitate, we will be able to help with the ground type weakness of mons like Darmanitan, Nidoqueen, and Registeel. So I was about to say Regimo. Rotom, it's a really nice mon in terms of having defog options. If I want to run specs, I can run specs Leaf Storm. I could run a Trick Choice Scarf set. If I want to life orb, if I want to run a berry, I could run those things as well. So Rotom, it's really nice. I kind of like having this more as it does complete a core as, I like this more as it kind of completes a core more than, I kind of lost it, whatever. But it does complete a core unlike Rotom Heat would have done, in which I would have rushed to find a different grass type, but I like this a little bit more, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise that Obo actually did pick Rotom. But moving forward to our last 2 mons, this was a wheel duo. Pretty much all these were wheel duos except for Tornadus. These were wheel duo. This wasn't. This was no, let me take that back. Yeah, each of these were wheel duo. So our last wheel duo, we have Dredagon. I didn't know what dragon I wanted to pick to complete my Fairy Dragon Steel Core. I was looking at Drampa, but I felt that we already had Kangaskhan there, so we didn't need to add a normal type. Then also Dredagon here, and I've never used Dredagon before, so hopefully we have a cool experience with it. From what I know, it has really cool abilities. Rough Skin, Sheer Force, and Mold Breaker, which gives us a 3rd Sheer Force spawn. I didn't even realize that, so that's really nice. But this thing is another Stealth Rock user. It's pretty versatile from what I've looked at. Gets Dragon Tails for potential setup mons, Gunk Shot for Fairy, Stealth Rock, Sucker Punch, Taunt. So this thing's very versatile in the sense that it has coverage for the things that it's weak against, but have a number of items I could run on this thing. Rocket Helmet plus Rough Skin can deal damage to a lot of physical attackers. We have Choice Band options, Life Orb options with the Sheer Force. yeah, it's just a number of options. The base stats don't look that bad. The speed is a little bit lackluster, but then you have the 90 in defenses, the 77 HP, and 120 in attack, which I don't know why the IVs are 0. So if we max this out, it's gonna be hard-hitting monster, especially with life or choice, man. So Dredagon, I'm like I mentioned, I've never used it, but it's pretty cool design wise, and pretty cool diverse wise, and helps the rest of my team as well, completing a core. So if it completes a core, then I don't have a problem with it. So yeah, last mon, last but not least, we have Hitmontop here. And Hitmontop, I was actually looking at another mon, that other mon being Girder, but after looking through, I had 80 points left out of all my free points, so I could afford another tier 4 or below, and I saw Hitmontop there, and I just felt like why not add a rapid spinner, just have another way of having hazard removal. Hitmontop, not bad at all. I believe it gets Technician as well. Technician, Intimidate. I'll probably be running Intimidate a lot more because it is its best ability. But Hitmontop, really nice and bulky wise. HP lackluster again, but then you have the defenses there, 110 in special defense, 95 in defense, 95 in attack, and a pretty, I didn't know it was that fast, but 70 in the speeds here, but it has nice priority moves and bullet punch. I believe it does get fake out as well, mock punch, so great priority moves there, sucker punch as well as giving us a rapid spinner, which is really nice to have on his team, especially with us having 3 defoggers. It gives us another way of hazard control without unnecessarily getting rid of our own hazards. So I feel like Hitmontop is a great addition to this team. Although it is weak to fairy or flying, we do have that covered with Registeel. We do have that covered with more mons on our team. So yeah, that is the team, guys. If you guys do like the team, make sure you tell me down in the comment section below if you think there's anything I could change within the team. Let me know. Let me know down in the comment section below as well if there's anything you would change, or if there's anything, if you think the team is just right. Let me know. But yeah, I'm not completely sure when week 1 will start, but when it does, you guys will know, and I will upload it to the channel. I don't know if I'm going to do team builders yet. I'm not completely sure, but yeah, I will be uploading battles. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, share with a friend, as it is greatly appreciated. Make sure you guys check out any of the other videos. All the coaches and the commissioner of the league will be down in the description below. But yeah, this has been your boy Turnt, and I'll see you guys next time.